Heidi ho, friends of the sun, and welcome to a new video. I'm at app because dear Daniel has a new format and asked if I wanted to join. And I was like, sure, my fee is that you show me your company. Hello?
Exactly. So this is basically our main sales room, exhibition area, whatever you want to call it. This is also open to the public.
Anyone can come in here.
Anyone can come in and view cars.
Teenagers also come in here. And hey, Daniel, are you there?
Yeah, that happens, but not often. It depends. During the holiday season, yes.
Okay,
But we're just not at the center of the world here. You know what I mean?
that's true. The business tax here is good, around 95,900.
Exactly.
I'm buying the car.
Of course, you can buy the whole car like this.
For?
Like 270, yeah. Or if you already have the car, then you basically buy the package for it.
Okay,
So what kind of car do you drive privately?
well, two things. A, right now I drive a Smart for 4E as my private car, yes.
You have kids, right?
No, so my private car is a four-door, everything's great, and I have a GLC as my company car.
Okay.
And then I also have a V-Class in the company for tax reasons, you know? I did the math and realized I always use the 1% rule, but I was surprised at how much I was actually paying. I chose to get a 4.4 for almost nothing. I always drive that one privately, every day if the tax office is watching. From work, I use the company car.
Do you really have issues with the tax office since you use the word a lot in the Cedo video?
No, the tax office is, you know, like, do you like the tax office?
It's a love-hate relationship.
It's a love-hate relationship. Well, that's just how it is. I used to have a kiosk, and back then the hygiene office was a bigger problem than the tax office for kiosk or bakery owners. That's when I learned you always have to leave one corner dirty. When the hygiene inspector visits, he tells me, Daniel, that's dirty, clean it, and then it's fine. But if everything is spotless, then he starts looking in the fridge and in the filters. They keep looking until they find something, so you should suggest, let's agree on this. That way they'll stop looking further.
That's basically the feeling of success. They found something?
The tax office is like a dance too. How far can I go? What will they accept or reject? Where do they say, Mr. Trushke, we don't believe you? That's why
You know what happened to me?
I'm a good dancer with the tax office.
My accounts were seized a few months ago.
It happens to every good freelancer.
I don't know where the 300 euros came from or what they were for. Some kind of fine, right? I still don't know why. They just closed the account without calling or writing.
So, and then you call them frantically on Friday and they say, come on Monday.
That's exactly how it was, yeah. Then you go into the weekend and that's it.
That's messed up. And salaries usually go out on Monday. And everyone. Yeah, exactly. That's it. And that's how it is. For me, it's kind of a love-hate relationship, for example. This isn't meant to sound decadent, but it's also funny. At the tax office, at that time, I had 17 apartments in Berlin. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just wanted to submit a direct debit to the tax office and said, can't I just sign it? And you just debit everything. No, then I had to fill out 17 individual direct debit forms. You know how it is. When I submitted them, one of my properties only had 16, so one was missing, and I never added it later. And every quarter I get a reminder that I still haven't paid for that one, then I make the transfer. And I've even forgotten it before, then you have to hurry up and do it the next day. I think my account was seized over 48 euros.
Incredibly exhausting, yeah.
Is that a Lang? How much does it cost?
What's the cost? That's the standard model.
Hey, come on, no, don't play that game, guess.
I have the standard model. That's how Lamborghini makes it. We haven't done anything to it yet. This is a car, we basically have to develop something on it. But it's still exactly how it came from the factory. What do you think?
I'll admit, I have no idea. It just looks like my GLC coupe.
Yeah!
I think it costs around 80,000, maybe 95. No, I have a bit.
You can't be serious, right?
No, it looks like my GLC, like the coupe here.
Well, first of all, it says Lamborghini right there.
Yeah, that's why I added a bit more as a Mercedes, but I'm really happy with Mercedes and Lamborghini too.
As it stands, it's 300.
300? And what if you do your magic now?
Then we're probably talking about With the current one, I guess the scope will be around 70.
So are you at 370 now?
Yes.
So,
Of course, it always depends. You know, you can also say, I only want to perform or I only want to know.
sorry. If I buy a car for 300 and get you guys, I wouldn't say just come for 15,000. I just don't have it right now.
Ah, believe me, they exist too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Look, I can tell you, I think it's a beautiful car. Lambo, if you ever want to give me one, I'd be happy to accept. But my house where I live, yeah, I got it in Berlin back then for a bargain price. I bought my house in Berlin for 130,000.
A residential house?
A house, yeah, a single family house, just like that. Everything's good. I renovated for 250, so I'm at 370. Or I could have a car like that.
I've never heard anyone say they have a house for that nowadays. How long has it been?
No, it was in 2020. That's when I got it. And in 2018, I saw that it was going into foreclosure.
Then you jumped on it right away, huh?
Then there was that well-known handshake, kind of with the person it was done with. And then I got it for a really good price. Okay.
We redid this here, for example. This is now our freshly renovated area because the company exists here. Yeah. It's been like this since 1991, basically.
Yeah, if a street is named after you, you also want to assume that it will be there for a long time.
Exactly, yeah, but street.
Who, grandpa or a dad?
Grandpa, you only get street names, I think, when you're dead.
Do you have any limitations?
Exactly, yes.
You only do it 125 times.
Exactly. Just 125 times. It's basically a special version, I'd say. That one really comes with the full package.
Okay, but now let's stop here. Yeah, does it start over again? What does 125 times mean?
125 times. So basically the whole thing. The base car, and then this here comes from us. The whole optics package with the carbon, the flaps.
Exactly.
The rims, suspension, performance, diffuser.
Yes, but now it's sold out in a minute because it's so popular.
It would be nice, but now isn't the time to sell 125 cars in a minute. These days, you have to work for it.
I recently read that Xiaomi sold 200,000 units of their car in China in 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's like when I say the Tesla Cybertruck is coming out and then I make a deposit for $100. But you know what I mean? But buying really means buying. Buying means putting cash on the table and not just pre-orders or something like that.
Could you say, I'm not doing the mirror? Now it's getting a different color and then it's the next 125?
No, we're not doing that, so if... Then we really have to...
Like with the John Rookie card, which came years later and was just different.
No, that's not how we do it. It's always being redeveloped, and it's really just for this car. A bit of history now. It's been around since 1896, let's say. 1896. Next year marks our 130th anniversary.
No?
Here you basically have a lot of history with race cars, with things.
Such a thing is really a next level. You know, skipping school early.
And then gaming like that? Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Grandpa founded it.
It depends on your perspective. In 1896, it wasn't Grandpa, but the great-great-great-great-grandpa. Back then, it was basically a carriage smithy with a small element that you would probably call tuning today. Because he had carriages.
The horses got coke?
They did. They injected heroin. No, they did. This is all Guy.
Yes.
Winter, snow, no. And they basically modified the carriages so that they had runners, so they could move forward in the snow as well.
Okay.
That's basically how the story started. Then came car trading, which both my grandpa and my great-grandpa were basically into, and tuning basically started here in 1991. That was my dad and my uncle.
I can ride a motorcycle. Can you catch me on one? I had a drum trigger when I was 16 with a button with on and off. My brother built all of that. You can catch me with that?
Yeah. We have a few shorters, a few old wrecks over there too. These are some old Formula cars. For example, Ralph Schumacher drove one of them, so back then he basically started out with us too.
Really?
Yeah.
How much is your car worth, Shumi? That's wild.
That joke comes up every time you stand here now.
Really? Terrible.
That was my first Formula race car, basically Formula 4.
No, you drove with that?
Yes, that was already PlayStation 3 era. Look, I had PlayStation 3 on it. But at 15 years old, mind you, that's already crazy. They're not like that at all.
But did you enjoy it? Or realize that if you mess up, you're only 15?
It was mostly fun, but sometimes you did mess something up and then you did feel worse. One time I really messed up with a Grand Touring car. I really screwed up once. I drove that car around all day.
Yeah.
Back then, this was here. So now, that's basically me with it.
Wait a minute, that's you?
That's me. That's basically me with the...
Dude, why don't you have that hairstyle anymore?
Yeah, that was awesome. Everything has its time.
Cheer.
And that was a grand touring car, right?
R8.
I spent the whole day driving at the Lausitzring. Do you know it? That's not so far from Berlin, you know? Okay, so it's near Berlin, in the Lausitz region.
Yeah, probably.
And then I said, hey, let me drive. I want to try it too. So they gave me the car, and I thought, yeah, easy. I'll do it now. So I went out, drove a lap, once over the start-finish line, 2 corners, and then I crashed and hit the wall. This thing nearly flipped me over and caused major damage. Everything was wrecked.
What do you mean by heavy damage?
I think it was 80,000 euros.
80,000 euros not insured?
Not insured. Plus, employees who actually wanted to go on vacation, like mechanics, then had to stay and work through to get the car ready for the next race. You can't imagine how bad I felt.
Rightly so.
I went to the workshop every day with cake, apologizing each time. Yeah, you actually just want to crawl away again.
How often did you drive it and think, whoo, lucky I'm not in a wheelchair or dead?
Actually,
You know how as a teenager you do things and later reflect on them?
how could you be so crazy? I wasn't like that. It's actually pretty safe. But then in Formula E, I once had an accident where I thought maybe now I'm in a wheelchair. You know, I really got wrecked there.
What happened?
The car automatically went full throttle, so basically there was a software error, and I was before the turn.
It was PlayStation 3, right?
Exactly, yes, that was PlayStation 5 times already. I approached the curve, let off the gas, try to brake, but the car accelerates instead. That means I'm driving at, I don't know, 200, and I could brake a little bit, but almost not at all. I crashed head-on at about 220, and then I thought...
Wait a minute, at 220, you're sitting here and here's the wall.
Exactly. Fortunately, it wasn't a stone wall, because otherwise I definitely wouldn't have gotten out, or at least I would have been seriously injured. Those are, as they say, tech pro barriers are, let's say...
These plastic...
Those plastic barriers are okay, but when you're coming in at 220 and suddenly stop, the G sensor in the car really reacts. I think that was 38 Gs of deceleration, so 38 times your body weight. That really bad accident Max Verstappen had a year or two ago was around 50. That's a whole different level, but it was already intense. And then I couldn't move my legs.
No?
Yeah, you just think that because of a few horror stories about the lower back, like the first time.
Yeah, of course, that standard thing, yeah.
Exactly. And then they basically cut me out there. That was in Mexico. Then you end up in a first aid station like that.
What's on your mind then? You're heading for the wall, about to crash. Are you thinking anything or is your mind blank?
I screamed, really, I remember, but no one heard. I was sitting in the car and just screamed.
Yeah.
Because you realize, I mean, it takes 3 seconds, and then you crash. But in that moment, you realize, wow, this is really not cool. What's happening right now? Then the impact hits. Puff, puff. You must try to breathe again since you've been compressed. And then I just radioed in and said, hey, I think I need help. It's not great. They took me by helicopter, which was exciting, over Mexico City into the area.
Great, yeah, legs broken, but a sightseeing flight.
You can't really look outside because you're lying there with a neck brace.
But then they pull you out immediately, just like that thing spinning.
Exactly. There's like a technique for that. There's an inner seat with some clips. They strap you in there so they can take you out without causing more damage. So that's what they do.
I think it's wild when you mention these clips and everything about them. That was invented because they did it once and something didn't work out, so they said, let's make some clips like that. Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you think happened back then? What kinds of accidents occurred? They even raced without seatbelts, so in accidents they were thrown from cars. That really happened back then. The attitude toward safety was so reckless that people would say, yeah, I'll get in now and drive 250. If I crash, I'm dead or left with nothing. If I hit something, I might lose my legs, if I'm lucky.
But crazy. Then you're in Mexico, sick. When did you realize you could wiggle your toes?
I had it, then it improved a bit, and later I was in one of those situations. So kind of like an emergency room, it was really like that, with tubes and kind of dark.
Was it a cool emergency room or like how I imagine it in Mexico right now?
Yeah, so the room wasn't cool because it was just kind of, in the dark there was a curtain closed like, okay, get rid of the colleague. Someone keeps coming in saying hola, etc., and I'm like, hey, what's happening? She doesn't understand any English, so she can't even talk to you.
Isn't there anyone from your team with you?
No, you have to go alone. Eventually someone arrives. The doctor from the track showed up. But then he said to me, yes, we'll quickly push you through the scanner now, and if everything is fine, then we have to hurry, because then you have to go to the race.
Yeah, sure.
And then I was like, what? Yeah. And then I actually did the race. I was in the emergency room in the morning, and in the afternoon I still went to the race.
Which place?
Well, I started from last place, and then at some point I came into the pit, because I said I can't, it's not working. I mean, it was basically, I would say, expected of me, but yeah, it really was. It was a situation where I was also under a bit of contract pressure.
Yes.
And that was just, okay, you do it now, but actually it was a completely wrong decision. And actually, looking back, I should have just said no. But you do it because you just want to keep your job.
And live your dream?
Exactly. But it just wasn't possible. I basically missed the whole day when it came to training.
Yeah.
I was on painkillers in that car while you were driving, so it was...
Then you said in the pit, guys, today was nice.
Yeah, at some point I just came in and said, hey guys, it's not working, I just can't. You could have another accident.
Yeah, sure.
And if that happens, your muscles are already, well, what happens in such an accident is that the muscle contracts protectively.
Yeah.
If they're already like that and you have an accident, they can't protect you.
Whoa.
That's why this here is, let's say, the main workshop when it comes to daily work. And we also do maintenance sometimes.
Okay.
Or whatever, for example, cars are being prepared there.
I thought these lights make it an Insta-spot.
Yeah, but that's just how it is. For us, it's quality control, so we're basically checking things here, of course. We prepare the cars to look perfect when they go out, but also check the paint for any issues.
So, are you not good with your hands?
I think we're on the same page.
I can't do anything at all.
At some point, I missed the train where you learn that, and eventually it's just too late.
Yeah, well, you know.
Starting to do that as an adult now, it's pointless.
You'll just make too many mistakes. Many say to focus on your weaknesses to improve. But I always think the time you waste on that, it's better to improve your strengths and find someone who can compensate for your weaknesses.
Whoa, those are really wise words. You could print that on a calendar.
Yeah.
Really hang it up with a picture of you like that. Over there, I think we'll leave that out for now. Over there is basically another complete production facility. But there are often cars parked there that are a bit difficult to show.
Why?
Because they're either currently being built as prototypes or not quite finished yet. Or they belong to the customer who may have them now, but I want them soon.
What do you mean? Is there a customer who doesn't want his car in a Hey Aaron video?
I think that can happen.
Now we're going into our development workshop.
Cool, with a vintage vibe.
And when I stand here now, it looks to me like a 10,000 piece puzzle, but all black.
It would be bad if it were that easy, right? So it's really important to have good people who understand the craft, who understand the technology, who can develop things. With the car, that's where we're building. You can see it stripped down, so let's look from the back.
I recently saw this in the United States adapted for police use.
So look, there's even a cell phone here. You can take it if you want. No, but seriously, it's basically completely stripped out. We give these cars an entirely new interior, reupholstering and rebuilding them, plus adding an extra fuel tank. It's getting a full engine swap with 1,000 horsepower, and we'll drive it later.
Oh.
Well, not this one, but one with 1,000 horsepower.
Okay.
And there's also a lot of manual work involved. If everyone could do it, it would suck.
Now I imagine when a customer comes in here and spends 40 grand or more on a conversion, those customers could be pretty demanding, right? Later they call back saying they saw something.
It's really different. I mean, there's everything. There are customers who are really relaxed, and of course there are customers who are very meticulous, right? We also have people sometimes who have no idea.
So there are people who show up later, take things apart and say, look here, that wasn't off before, come here.
For example, we also have, for example, I don't know to what extent I can now.
You can say whatever you want, you're on my channel.
Imagine it this way. Some people profit from others' mistakes.
To then push the price down.
Either that, or they thought they could make a crazy deal with something. Now that the economy has changed and the deal isn't as good, they're looking for reasons for you to return the car.
Really?
They even threaten with lawyers.
That happens too?
But it's very, very rare.
Some people disappoint you. You do a huge rebuild and they just show up and say, yeah, thanks, and leave.
Yeah, but those are usually rappers who don't actually buy the car. They just pretend.
Who are we giving a shout out to?
Yeah, we're giving a shout out now.
Who do we want to give a shout out to?
Shout out time. This is the test bench.
Wow, that really looks kind of like a space shuttle.
Exactly. So basically, there's a car on a roller, and you can basically drive up to 300 here.
Really?
Yes. The car is strapped down. You drive, And there's a blower in front that basically simulates the airstream. And then you can see on diagrams here, you basically have something like a performance chart. That shows you the car's condition. We use it for tuning and it's essential for us. So let's go through the mud for a moment.
When did you realize that your dad's job isn't something normal? You know, my son always asks, Dad, what do you do for a living? I used to say the internet, yeah, and then he told me now he understands videos on the internet. Yeah,
Exactly.
And when I take pictures of people now, I always hold him out, and then he says, do you know them? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not yet. But when did you realize, oh,
Since elementary school, actually. Because then you get into a class with people and you notice.
question one, what kind of people were in your class? Was it like, were there mostly well-off people, or were you like that too?
No, just normal. Here in Kempton and mixed from all cultures.
How often did they say, rich boy?
Big shot, yeah, of course.
Yeah, big shot?
Yeah, of course, but that's you. That's what I mean. Since the name was recognized as a company, you instantly became the big shot and got called that. And I have to say, in hindsight, I always think kids are actually the most cruel. Because, well, childhood. It's true, I was cruel too. I bullied others. Everyone does. That's just how it is, right? Even this labeling and categorizing that you do as kids is actually crazy. It's actually really bad.
It's easy to do because kids have cliches and prejudices. We take things seriously since that's the simplest approach.
But in hindsight, I always think, even when I reflect on myself, I wonder, why was I like that? You can't even really put yourself back into that mindset.
As a kid, you just want to have fun and think, he's rich, since your horizons weren't that broad. Rich kid, you're Polish, you can steal, that's...
It wasn't just one stereotype. There were all of them.
A German potato is just... Did it make you sad in your childhood and everything, or was it just the way it is?
No, it did make me, well, what does it mean sad? But of course there were moments when you notice you're being excluded or when you start to think about it. It was really stupid things like, I don't know, better to have a few €5 bills or marks, whatever, in your pocket than just a 50 or a 20 or something like that. This is basically our motorsport workshop now. That's where we are.
What does Motorsport Workshop mean?
So everything that has to do with motorsport, where we're still active, is done here. That means those are the race cars that compete in the 24-hour Nürburgring with Lamborghinis. We use them there, and then we have 2 more that are for the Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters. But as you can see, they're already taken apart quite a bit because the season is over.
Why do you take them apart?
That's always done since you rebuild them from scratch. In this case, it's actually that new vehicles are coming next year, so these won't be used for that anymore. But yes, it's always taken apart again to make sure everything fits, to rebuild it so that the car looks perfect.
Hello? What is that? I don't know, cars. Is that engine great or the same as in my 4.4 Smart?
I don't think so. No. That one belongs in that car.
That's crazy. I always say if it were just me, we wouldn't even have fire. And there are people who can build things like that. Have people made good money in Formula E or not?
Very good.
Very good. What does very good mean?
That means that you have 6 figures. Yes, you already can. I think top drivers today make about 2 million.
No?
Yes. So not 6 digits, but 7 digits.
Yes.
Yes and yes, well, I think I don't know how it is now since I've been gone for years, but back then it was already like that.
What did you earn in your best season as a driver?
A little over 1 million.
Congrats. Half goes to taxes, but congrats.
Yeah, nothing left. Yeah, but do you know why? Because the prize money was so good. Back then, there was a system where the prize money was good. And then you could earn a lot of money there.
And in Formula 3, do you already make money there?
No, you only spend money there.
Formula 2 as well.
There aren't many races. You earn money in Deutsche Tourenwagen Masters.
Do you earn money at 24-hour races?
Yes, but it's more limited. That's just one race. And then, if you're a good driver, maybe you'll get 100,000, probably 50, more likely, some, a lot even, just 20. Or it really depends. It's different for everyone. So it kind of depends. That sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. But you can't forget one thing. If you're an athlete and you dedicate your whole life to that, then if in doubt, you have no backup. Even if you earn well for a few years, it could end tomorrow. There's no guarantee. So you could end up with nothing and no education.
If you can't do anything, you become a TikToker.
Then you become a TikToker. Yeah, but I don't know if you... Can you actually make good money with that live stuff?
Man, I've heard from some people that it's really booming. Really? Yeah, that's the kind of car we used to build in Need for Speed, but we could never drive it.
That's called the Abt X Grand Touring. It's a race car that's street legal. So that's really, I would say, kind of a real special project, which I'd say hasn't happened often in our history.
Can you lease it?
But you can't lease it, you can only buy it.
I have another idea. Let's rent to wealthy Chinese people who come to Germany to speed on the highways.
Whoa.
After 10 times, we've got it back in.
I'll be honest with you, by the second time, you've already got the first damage.
Yeah. Duct tape. Yeah, you put a little duct tape here, a little duct tape there. Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah. Car rental, I mean, you can really make a lot of money, but you need the right connections and you need a very good system. Because, yeah.
With leasing, a total loss before returning the car is ideal.
Yeah. It depends on how you look at it. Yeah, but with something like that, you know, there's also a risk. I had someone here recently. Well, it's a company. They're starting up a car rental business right now.
Yeah.
Quite successful. For instance, he had a Grand Touring 3RS in stock. And then one morning, I think it was just before Christmas, he wakes up and sees how this Grand Touring 3RS suddenly leaves the country and heads towards England.
Yeah?
And just takes off like that. And then he flew after it and tried to chase down that car again. He was involved in some gangs, which was great, so I don't know if that's the lifestyle we need. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that's service. This is some storage, and here is the XGT workshop. Hi. Hello.
Is it always this tidy here, or did you just clean today? You're such a perfectionist. That's wild. But well, that's part of it too. I was recently in a tuk-tuk workshop in Thailand, you know, where they just pour the oil straight into the sewer. That's why...
That's not what we do here.
Only on holidays. These are all engines?
Exactly. Those are engines that are basically installed into these cars.
Sorry, I find things like that. They are too. Can I tip it over?
You can give it a try.
Nah, but I wouldn't do it either. Oh, here's another Lambo.
Yeah.
Who is your most famous client? Did you ever host any heads of state?
We've had this before. Now I just need to remember what it's called. There's a kind of mafia. Yes, that too. No.
Hey brother, can I pay $20 million cash?
Sure, well, there are definitely some shady people who show up here.
How do you turn them down from behind the bulletproof glass?
Well, okay, nowadays. You can't really say, like, a car like that, you can't really say anything. Give me $300K in cash, put it under my pillow. Then we'll tell the tax office the car vanished. It's not like a lollipop that got stolen or something. You know, it doesn't really work like that.
Too bad, the good old days.
The good old days definitely existed. There are stories about them too.
But also, I'm sorry, what is the value?
That's about 600.
This is my 17-unit apartment building in Berlin when I bought it.
Yes, but if you were to sell it now, your 17-unit multifamily house...
It's 3.5, so what's the value?
It's about 280.
And what kind of bodies are those?
So those are, well, the XGT that you just saw. That's basically it. We buy the basic racing chassis from Audi and build them ourselves.
Oh, I see.
We handle bringing items in, painting, interiors, and more per customer requests.
Oh, I said leave out all the frills. We just want that. You can skip the rest.
That's exactly what it is, basically. Since it's a race car, let's say, that Audi sold, we told Audi, look, we'd like to convert it so that it's street legal. Please give it to us or sell it to us, then that's how it'll be.
But you really have to butter them up a bit to get them to do it, right?
Yeah, you have to do that.
Right.
Or you just have to have a long, good history in business relationships. Of course, that helps. Since we've been an Audi partner for 20 or 30 years, they already know us and what we do.
What if I called Audi and said, I'm the kiosk owner from Berlin. I'd like to convert a race car for street use and have you sell it to me.
You could likely buy it, but they probably wouldn't just give it to you. Only the finished race car.
Ah, okay.
You could do that. Yeah, and then they just say good luck.
Do you write to info@Audi?
No, but there are definitely ways you drove with him. Exactly, that's what it was. I also think it's much nicer. That's basically the predecessor, the second generation of an electric car. That was also the one I had the accident with.
It looks good for that.
Well, yes, of course, it's been rebuilt now. It's also a show car. In this case.
How did you get it up there?
That,
4 men, 4 corners?
as you saw earlier, it wasn't me who got that up there. Yeah, that's fine. It's always attached to a steel beam or some kind of support, basically.
But I have to touch it once. I'm always someone who has to touch things at least once. And now let's continue here. And was that your car afterwards?
No, that's actually one of the first, let's say, cars from my dad.
That's a classic car by now, isn't it?
Yeah, you could say that.
Young timer?
You could still call it that, but a young old-timer. I'm not sure where the line is, but the Quattro is definitely Audi's most famous classic car.
You know you're old when you've seen many of those around, and now someone says, that's one of the oldest, but it's awesome.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just, I'd say a rarity. Definitely something special.
Wow.
That's kind of the beginning of our tuning and so on. It's really a piece of Audi history and a piece of apt history.
But it's not an H-classic car.
Well, actually, yes, so yeah.
Yeah, we're old, that's a classic car, but the rims are stylish too. Here's your podcast.
Exactly. This is, let's say, a podcast setup casting. You can do everything here, you can do everything here, right?
What is this and why is it here?
Because it looks cool and we put it in here. That's a special paint job. It alone costs around 40,000 euros.
That's a Lamborghini color, you see, depending on how you look at it. It's either orange or kind of a pinkish purple.
So that's a super special combo that we have on it. And yeah, it'll be delivered then.
If I say, Danny, it's my birthday tomorrow and I'd like the car from the parking lot here, what kind of thing is that? Well, it won't fit through there. You need to drive there somehow through the workshop. That's complicated. Yes.
We have an entrance here, so we usually rotate the cars quite often. And if the guests also bring a car, we drive in here as well. So you're basically sitting in front of your car. Today you had...
Yeah, my V-Class.
Would be a bit...
My V-Class and my driver is my brother.
Yeah, you have a driver. Oh, that's your brother?
Yeah, you can see that. He looks like me and he's muscular.
No, I didn't get that, but now I do.
Oh.
And here you are sitting. Exactly, this is the casting couch. That was my first. Yes. I filmed some YouTube videos about it back then at a small studio. Now this is my office. It's so dark today, it feels like the world is ending.
Yeah, but the wintertime change, that sucks. But are those all helmets you've worn? Or did you just think they were cool?
Those are all my helmets, basically, yeah.
Really, yeah?
So you always have...
Are you a neat freak? Does that drive you crazy now?
I just now said yes, okay.
No?
I just realized that it's a bit off. Those are all...
That's cool, I like it.
Yeah, that was actually my last one. Look, so that was... Well, I was away for a short time. I actually asked for my driver's seat at Audi back then.
Wait, you have to say that. We started on YouTube about the same time a few years ago. At some point I noticed that during Corona you had a little scandal. Do you even call it a scandal?
Yeah, that's what people called it.
What did you do? So Formula E wasn't working?
It wasn't working exactly, it wasn't working.
Because of Corona?
Because of Corona, they suggested doing online races instead.
But it's an online race.
Yeah, just computer games. Everyone has a steering wheel exactly like that, and that was just to keep the fans engaged, to entertain them. Anyway, very few people were interested, and the software was, let's say, pretty poor and stuff like that. It wasn't great, but it was pretty cool. And there was our race, the real drivers. And before that, there was a race with the pro sim racers.
Okay.
And in an online lobby, we basically connected with each other. I met someone young, just 16, and he was really good.
Yeah.
That's how we were then. On stream, I said, come on, drive for me and beat the real racers. So that was...
Did you say that on stream?
I said that on stream, yes. I often have to make statements like that, so it's included. But I just thought at that moment, hey, come on, you can do something in the PS tab. You know? Eventually, you get these YouTube glasses and wonder what cool story you could create with them. What was left over wasn't as funny as I thought. Unfortunately.
Would you do it again?
No, but you kind of know how it is. Honestly, I have to admit it didn't really affect me much. I was planning to quit anyway, but I wish I could have done it differently. On the other hand, I have to say what I did afterwards really helped me because I had the attention. Yeah, that was absurd. It was really a BILD headline. It was on the 8 o'clock news abroad. I mean, do you know which serious criminal gets that kind of coverage? Like really on television? So, it was really wild, of course. In that case, it was honestly a horror for me, a nightmare.
Just for me, in comparison. It's like during Corona, now just one player per Bundesliga team can play Fédération Internationale de Football Association. Exactly. And then Marco Reus said back then to some 16-year-old, go ahead and take care of it, go beat Timo Werner.
That's one way to put it.
Did he actually beat him?
He led for a long time, then finished third, but he was really strong. So it was pretty obvious that there was someone here now who...
And was the race also on stream?
Yeah, it was on stream, yeah.
How long did it take you to realize that?
So in the evening, I remember I was there. Somehow I went to bed, woke up the next morning, and then the world was over. It was a Saturday evening, and then, or Saturday was the race, Sunday was already crazy, and from Monday on, the world was on fire. For me.
Was it really on fire, or did you see it with a tumor, or was it...
No, I thought it was a nightmare, so it was really the worst. I had no idea what could happen there. The hatred, this wave of hatred was there.
What kind of hate do you get from e-fans, like calling you an idiot?
No, not at all. But from people who've never dealt with you or even seen this race. They just read a headline. It says, driver or app cheats in race. And they write, they notice that, then message you on Instagram telling you to kill yourself because you're an idiot. So people love that.
Yeah, really?
People love it, as you see repeatedly.
Can you bet on Formula E? I would have had a few ideas back then if we had known each other.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Did you hear about the player? Hey, just by the way, seeing how bad they've gotten in the videos, you think, that makes sense. But okay, yeah, but was it bad back then?
It was bad. Yeah, it was really bad. But I'd say you learn from it. It definitely shaped me. It's real. It was a wild time. I wouldn't want to do it again because you have to handle it. It can really break you because the level was intense, but luckily I have strong support from family and friends.
What did Mom and Dad say?
I'll be honest with you. That was the most important thing to me. Well, my mom is, let's say, neutral about it anyway. But my dad, who was also indirectly in the line of fire, really stood by me as much as possible and said, look, shit happens. But he didn't blame me even once. Instead, he completely supported me, and I think he put it into perspective the way I think it should have been put into perspective. And it was made into such a big deal. And yeah, you don't have it under control anymore? Somehow it was just out of control, just funny. And I would and now I'll finish this, I would basically be fired in real life. Yeah, so fired.
How did they fire you? Did they send an official letter with subtitles?
No, there was a Skype call. Yeah, I still remember it like it was today. It was Wednesday. Then Saturday was the race, and on Wednesday, they told me, listen, now we have to do a spontaneous call.
Did they have an island in the background, or at least the office?
They were in the office, and it was also relatively quick. It was like, listen, you're out. And back then, I almost made the biggest mistake. I said, listen, if you fire me now, then the whole thing will blow up again, then there will be the next headline, now you're fired. I said, listen, I wanted to quit anyway. Just let me leave gracefully. I'm being consistent now, so I'm stepping down and resigning. I thought it might be more honorable and might prevent further harm to everyone. The clear message was, no, we won't do it that way.
We're firing you.
We have to communicate this clearly. We have to take a clear stance. And then the damage was actually even greater than it needed to be. It was a lose-lose for everyone, just awful. I'm glad it's over. It happened long ago, and everything is fine now. My relationship with Audi is great again.
Was Audi also angry?
Well, Audi did fire me. Audi was basically Audi. Motorsport, you could say. That was my employer at the time. I was a factory driver there, and they were responsible for that. That was the hard part, because I live and love it, I grew up with it, and we also work with Audi. And then it was like that. It was just unnecessary.
That's what interests me. I find it super exciting. But you were like two peas in a pod. Yeah, then you drifted apart.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about myself as a person now.
Exactly. But how do you get that back? At some point, because you just said you had a great call with them? At some point, Mr. Audi or someone said, hey, because recently someone asked me, Aaron, how could you bring Lego and the hero of bricks together? Yeah, I said, call Donald Trump, he might be able to do it, or I have another idea.
Well, for us, it was just like that. You have to remember, there isn't a Mr. Audi. There are always some board members, but nowadays they rotate so much that the people who made those decisions, they stayed about a year, then left, so they weren't there anymore. There are always new people arriving. And it's not like there's just Audi and one opinion. It's a huge company. And in everything, it's a huge organization. There are different views, opinions, and so on. And I think that changed relatively quickly. I think, though I'm just assuming, I had also moved on since then. Back then, I was still a bit of a teenager, you could say. I think now, even though I've become more settled, I'm just on a different level. Now I connect with people very differently than I did before. I think there's respect, and they know I always still do. I've never said I'm going to bash Audi now.
Yeah.
But I kept working with them. If we sell a car today, then in 80% of the cases, it's an Audi.
Awesome.
Well, we also do this because we really believe in the brand and because we love it due to its history. And when that happens, you just have to be able to differentiate. Those are individual decisions made by certain people who might think they're saving their own skin by doing that.
Yeah, okay. How did the first contact go? Did Miss Schaefer, new to the board, just say, hey, let's get a big tasty bacon without tomatoes?
No, it was just... like I said, I was invited to events from time to time or to some new product launches. You stay in touch, which is fine, and eventually rebuild relationships. By now, it's just been a long time.
Now we all laugh about it.
Yeah, you have to. Nobody died. It was a wild time when the world was already upside down. And then that happened. And I think nobody could have imagined that something like that was possible. But sometimes it just happens, and you have to deal with it.
What happened to the boy who drove for you?
I think, as far as I heard, he's even in the United States now, and he's very successful in what he does.
Very good.
We still keep in touch, including with others who also got in trouble back then. Reporters sometimes call 16-year-olds, and I always said, you can blame everything on me, you can trash me, and you can say I'm the biggest asshole. It's all okay, but leave those people out of it because they're young people.
Yeah, sure. If you say something like that to Bill, they say, of course, we'll listen to you.
Yeah, sure, but they're definitely not going to do that. That wasn't my last race, which is why I said, guess who's back? I'm a big Eminem fan.
Yeah.
Again, didn't fit anymore. And then I did a few more races to finish up. In Formula A, I made this helmet with Who's Back to say goodbye one last time. Here's a thank you, fans, since many supported me then. It wasn't all hate, I should mention that.
And what do we have here?
Oh, a lanyard? Yeah, these are, let's say, some merch items from us.
The carabiner is already good.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it pass the quality check?
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly where we have Red Bull as a partner as well. And that's actually... Of course, we also sell things to the fans at the racetrack. This is just a small selection of our collection, but it's also the outdated collection.
It's outdated, so you don't need it.
That's not a current one.
Then let's do a raffle.
We just got them, and now we have to redesign them annually.
Do you really sit there and say, the A key is a bit more slanted? Toby and a bit of blue here?
Yeah, not just me, but we look at it together as a team. I mean, it's not just about the logo. It's also a bit about quality, about the fabric.
L, hold on.
What do you need?
No, I just want to see. Look, how much?
I think they're all L,
L?
but we have every size.
Why not give one away? Let's do something nice.
But then we'll do current stuff, definitely. So we'll send the current one.
When is it coming?
No, it already exists. That's only partially up to date. It was already last year.
It's only partly up to date. Let's take a picture holding it like this. Then you post on Instagram. Then 3 people can each win 3 pieces.
Yeah, we can just make a package like a t-shirt, hoodie, or cap.
That's 3 pieces and 3 people will win.
Okay. I thought I understood it that way, that we each, okay.
Yeah, everyone gets a nice package. I just need a letter from you written by Toby with your signature explaining how I got it. That's all. We'll take a picture now and finish my video. I've seen everything and think it's great here.
Thank you.
If you need a different bus while on vacation, I can cover for 2 weeks.
With pleasure. Yes, that would be great. I'm sure the place would run perfectly afterwards. Run perfectly.
Have you completed any vocational training?
No.
Did you study at university?
I started, but then I quit because of racing. Simple. That became my job, so I focused on it.
Then you can. You don't really need much skill for your job.
Yeah, you have to be street smart, just like you.
That's it.
I'm telling you honestly. So studying is all well and good. My dad didn't go to college. He just has a secondary school diploma.
That's right. That's all I have too.
I'm already better since I have a technical diploma.
Yes?
But no, of course you can do that. But I think you can also do a lot. So I think I've learned much more from what I've tried, done, and experienced. So in practice rather than in theory. That's what I think. Maybe if you stop practicing law that way, or with AI eventually, but you still need to specialize. Yeah. But I think entrepreneurship itself, you really have to understand, live, and learn it.
You're absolutely right about that. That's a good ending. So thank you very much for letting me have a look around. I just wanted to say I really like it here. Your place is great, both in marketing and elsewhere. All the colleagues too, the ones we changed the tires with, you can see all of that on Daniel's channel because he did a podcast with me today. We changed tires and now we're going for a drive. Exactly. And I'm pretty sure I might throw up, so go check out his video. Take a look at it. See you next time. Thanks.
Bye.
Oh. He says you were sitting here like Donkey Kong while he's stirring it?
Yeah, but he did a good job.
Oh.